So looks like this new James Gunn movie, the Supergirl. Oh wow, this movie's box office, especially after the second weekend. Oh, it has not cost even $100 million at the worldwide market. Like this is sitting below 100 million. This is really, really bad for DC, especially new James Gunn DC universe, if I'm being honest. Like looks like this movie will not gonna make even like the disaster movie, The Flash. Like that is what looks like. That means that I'm gonna be honest, when I saw the first trailer for this movie, it looks really bad. It looked so bad to me. Supergirl, she was drunk, and Millie Alcock, okay, maybe she was okay as a Supergirl, but that first trailer was so bad. And I know a lot of people told me, oh, no, it looks good. And especially that comic book, this movie, it is based on like the Tom King's comic book. I guess a lot of people did like that edition, like because that is what I saw. Every comment on my videos, they like this comic book. So I think a lot of people were still excited for this movie. That is what I was thinking. But even the first week for this movie's box office, it opened to like 38 million or something. And the review for, especially the audience score for this movie, it still is good. It's 70 something, right? Like the Rotten Tomatoes score, like the audience score is not rotten. So that's why my last video I said it was somewhat mixed. Like some people still they're saying they like this movie, but now after seeing the second weekend box office drop for this movie, it's like close to 75%. Like this is the third comic book movies drop, like the worst drop for this. Like I think the first one is Joker, 80% drop on the second weekend, then the Marvels. This is the third one. Wow, this is so bad. And this movie's box office opening was so bad. Its second weekend drop even worse. Do you know what that means? The word of mouth for this movie is so bad. Like nobody's telling other people go see that movie. That means that there is one positive light about this movie, which I did see when this movie opened. That a lot of girls, a lot of women, they went out to see this movie because at the end of the day, this is still the second most popular female character, like female comic book character after Wonder Woman. Supergirl is the most known. I did see a lot of girls or women were excited to see this movie, although when I saw them excited, I was really worried about those people because this movie, it is from James Gunn. This guy, he's one trick pony. He knows only one type of movie he knows how to make, and that is the Guardian of the Galaxy. Like every movie he's making, that is some kind of version. And it's the saddest thing about James Gunn movies are, you are in DC universe. DC audience are really different from Marvel audience. Like he doesn't understand this, and it breaks my heart. I know a lot of people love the first Superman movie, but you have to be honest, that movie wasn't perfect. That movie should have been more good, but he didn't let it because he added all this character in that movie. I couldn't enjoy the Superman. Although overall that movie wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. Let's be honest, that movie wasn't that great. Although it did do good at the domestic market, but international market didn't do that good. The first Superman movie, like the James Gunn Superman movie. So what are we talking here? This guy can only make one kind of movie, Guardian of the Galaxy type, and that is what he made. A lot of reviewers said, this is a like Guardian of the Galaxy / Supergirl movie. Like he made her, like her costume looks like Star-Lord. Come on, people, that was what she looks like. Although I did see some people still like this movie. Yeah, I'm not gonna like be hating on this movie because I want to respect those people who liked this movie, which is very few. Which is very few people liked it. So I'm gonna be honest, I feel like James Gunn, he doesn't understand DC audience at all. Although his second Superman movie, the Man of Tomorrow, like what was that name, right? Like the first picture came out other day with the Lex Luthor. He's wearing the super suit. Everybody was excited, and I'm here like, man, even the sequel, it has so many characters. Like what? It even has Supergirl. So he can make only one type of movie, and that is Guardian of the Galaxy. Because I did love Guardian of the Galaxy. The three of them I liked, I would say. The third one was okay. I didn't like it that much. Certainly am not James Gunn's fan. Like, I did love the first Guardian of the Galaxy. Also, I like the second one. But his jokes, especially the way he writes character, I don't like. Especially his Suicide Squad movie. If it came out now, it would be so flop. Although it was flop back then. But it would be same amount flop if it came out today. His jokes are not for people who watches DC movie. DC audience are a little bit, they like darker tones, right? Like darker tones still they like jokes. Like that is why I feel like the Aquaman movie was such a huge hit. Although Aquaman character was such interesting, underwater superhero. But I feel like, Wonder Woman movie, that movie was, it still had a dark tone. Like it wasn't jokey all the time, right? If you had to talk about which DC movie people liked. So the Wonder Woman is the only movie like people truly loved. And that movie, it had some joke here and there, but it still had very darker tone. Very, like, theme is handling is very mature theme you're talking, right? It's not like light-hearted joke, oh, your dad left you, blah, blah, like this kind of joke does not work here, unfortunately. And I know a lot of people always commenting on my video, like maybe they're fan of James Gunn work. Obviously, I'm not his fan of his work. Like I only, as I said, only liked one of his movies. I feel like he's really not fit to guide the DC universe. And I feel like sad that, this, like Warner Bros., they really took this quick decision. And, like the last universe, they wiped out so quick and gave this kingdom key to this guy who is from Marvel, And once again, Marvel is very different than the DC. Although I love both of this. But still, I want to be like Marvel is a different type of movie. DC is different. Like it has to be balanced between these two universes, right? I feel like James Gunn, he's not the guy because he's from that other world. He's bringing this world to here. And it's not working. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot bring Marvel flavor to DC. Never works. Why we are like, the only movies that hit on like DC universe, like which one? The Batman, right? Like, although it's not a fully hit, if I'm being honest, like it made 770 something, so it didn't click in the international audience either, because that movie, The Batman with Robert Pattinson, it was too long. So, like this kind of, I guess, like the Batman movie case is like, Batman always sells ticket. So it's Spider-Man. And but beside these two characters, like story need to be good, it need to stay true to the characters. I feel like the Supergirl movie had a lot of potential, really missed it, unfortunately. And I feel sad for a lot of people really excited to this movie. Now it's that it was quite disappointed for those people, I bet. That is why the second box office drop is such a huge for this movie. And it's sad that like Warner Bros., they really quickly gave this kingdom key to this guy who's from Marvel, right? And I don't need Marvel people coming making DC movie, which is very different. Although both are comic book, but very different thing you are talking. Marvel comics are very different from DC comics. Like if you have read them, That's why the movies need to be also different. And I feel like James Gunn, he knows the guy to do this. Or I might be wrong. Although I do think the Clayface looks good. But Clayface is like a standalone movie. It doesn't have anything going on with the DC. So it will just create a problem for this. But that movie is also very R-rated. So, it has some difficulties, I guess. But end of the day, SuperGirl movie really proved that James Gunn is not the right guy to lead DC universe. And that's my thought on this. Let me know in the comment, what do you think about this? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget other videos on other topics. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.